focus on? I should probably... 1 second, I'm muting this. Turn you off. No vibrations. Anyway, you know what one of the cool things about being an engineer is? Your work doesn't really change. Math is math no matter where you go. A bill of design is going to be the same thing. So when my workplace runs out of internet for 2 days in a row, I get to go home, which you would think is a good thing. But no. I'm stuck with the voices, guys. This is a lot going on. I'm in the middle of crashing out. So we're recording a video. So welcome back, straights and gamers. Today we're gonna try not to crash out and talk about very interesting things. Very interesting things like the title of said video, which is up there, right? Anyway, hello, back again. Opinions, words you're gonna be saying. We're gonna be talking about situationships, everyone's favorite topic, and a very, very cool, fun thing. Not really. Anyway, why am I bringing this up? Well, because like I've actually been talking about this conversation with some of my friends, and it's just man, I think it's kind of gross. Okay. Out of context. I gotta get more context. I can't just be saying, I just do that. I just ramble. I just say things. What is a situationship, right? What is that? Well, as the name kind of implies, it's a relationship, because it is a relationship. A lot of people say it ain't, but it's a non-committal relationship is what it is. A dynamic where you find two, or I don't know, maybe more people. I don't know what people be doing. You have a group of individuals. One or more, no, two or more people, most of the time two, entwisted in each other. They got uwu faces and hearts going on everywhere. They're like two villagers in Minecraft when you give them bread, and they feel certain ways, but they aren't willing to address it. So we introduce the awkward silence, the comfortable silence, and basically these individuals form a pseudo relationship where one or the other refuses to call it what it is. Yeah, you may say, are we dating? I don't know. Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't know. We're in a situation of sorts, but it's still a situationship. Whoa, crazy. High school me would never have ever thought or conceived what the heck any of that was. And frankly, it's pretty weird. I'm not saying that I'm above it, because I've definitely been in those situations before. However, I am advocating against them now. I feel like a lot of the time especially in our generation, I don't know what I am. Again, it's the 2000s, whatever. Am I the Z? Am I the Zoomer? I don't remember at all, but whatever. It seems to be very relevant and how do I say this right? It's very present in our generation, in this time right now, where people don't want to commit to labels, where people want the fun without the everything else that comes with a relationship, right? And one may even pull that back to that sense of control we talked about prior, because we can't control how other people react. So that fear of that lack of control prevents us from committing to something that could be out of our depth, out of our control, or whatever, right? And for me personally, right, I have been in 3 major relationships, I'd say, up to this point. All 3 of which lasted for more than 2 years. I think my first relationship was 3, my second relationship was 2 years, and my last one stretched on to almost 4 before things got crazy. And I've always been the kind of person to just, but for me prior, right, before jumping into a relationship, I think I'm hard to lock down personally, right? This is all me. This is all my experiences. It takes a lot to lock me down in a relationship, but once I'm in a relationship, like, that's it for me. There was a period of time between these relationships and after some of them where I did end up finding myself in that weird gray zone with other people. And it was never fun. I don't think anyone that's in a situationship thinks it's fun, right? They may have a fun time, but I don't think that people thoroughly enjoy them, because the idea of this casual dating that has become so present nowadays, in my opinion, kind of demeans the value of a relationship and the connection, right? When people see each other so casually, again, it just feels like it diminishes things. You can't take back seeing someone in their bare form after you've witnessed them if things get that kind of spicy. You can't take back emotions and words and exchanges. And eventually what ends up happening is people catch feelings. And that's what happens to me. I crash out hard, man. I'm gonna, if this conversation keeps going this way, I'm gonna need a drink. The skies are gray and it's cloudy, and I'm at home for work today, so it's a wonderful time. I don't know if that like effed up my mic or whatever. Lost my train of thought. Oh yes. It takes a lot to get me in a relationship, and I have been in a situationship or two before, and most of the time it just turns into a full-blown relationship because I can't keep things casual. That's just way too hard for me. And emotions, and we are people, and we feel things, and we should stop hiding that. That's what I think. That's a big problem. This is a talking point for me. I think that we are afraid to truly feel things, to acknowledge our feelings, and to vocalize them. I'm not sure where this kind of came from, but I have definitely confirmed it with some of my peers and other folks that I meet. Conversations, the tough conversations, are really hard to have, and no one wants to have them. No one is willing to be upfront with their feelings and acknowledge rejection or acceptance, right? You can't get accepted if you don't accept the fear that you may also get rejected, right? It's going to be hand in hand. And in going in this weird gray in between, we put ourselves in a state of limbo where we're in Schrodinger's situationship. We are not in or out of this relationship until the question is asked. So we stay in this limbo, right? It's fucked. We shouldn't be doing that. At least I think so. Because it's hard to want to vocalize your feelings. Every time that I have tough conversations with my partners, I throw the fuck up. Like I'm like hurling internally. They will never see me. Maybe I will gag. I don't know. But those are hard conversations, and I get why we want to avoid them. But avoiding the problem never solves it, and if anything, prolongs it and makes it worse. And we see that in how often I feel like people jump in and out of relationships, or again, these situationships, right? Casual dating has become so much with the proliferation of dating apps, right? It's just Tinder, Hinge, Grindr, all these other things where people just kind of want that dopamine. They want the sense of happiness and joy that comes with a relationship without the responsibilities and the growth. That's another big thing. Relationships fully committed prompt growth. You are going to get into something that may at times be very uncomfortable. I have definitely been in several positions in every single one of my relationships that have prompted a very uncomfortable point where I either had to wimp out or grow, right? And I believe I've chosen the path of growth in every single one of those situations. I don't know, time will tell. Maybe my partners feel otherwise, but when you're in this limbo, in this gray in between where you've yet to commit to something, you stall that growth because you're constantly in that, let's call it what it is. You're dating, right? You're in a dating phase. You just refuse to put a label on it. And you're just dating someone for the thrill of just the dating and those feelings you get prior to the commitment. And that doesn't spur any growth, right? That just, again, prolongs the inevitable, and people are going to get hurt. So part of me wonders, are we afraid of growth? Do we not want to grow? Do we not want to get better? But I would think that we do, but maybe we're afraid of the process. I'm not sure, right? I think for everyone that's different. But every time I've confronted my partners or talked about this, those conversations rarely come up, right? And I think those conversations are something we should have more often. I think a situationship is the result of lack of clear communication and the will to commit. And those are very key aspects in any sort of relationship. And until we get over this fear of rejection, acceptance, committing, right, and just letting everything out, we're never going to grow, and we're going to keep putting ourselves in these positions where people get hurt, where feelings are exchanged in a manner that makes us less than comfortable, and we just keep, wallowing in this limbo, and that's not fun. I don't think anyone likes being put in the gray or being played with, because ultimately that's what ends up happening. You get played, I get played. We all get yaddled, right? And emotions are not something you really want to mess with, because at the end of the day, we're all still people. So we should treat people with respect and acknowledge the time that we have with them and commit to something, right? You won't know what you have, what you're going to get until you commit to it, right? You're never going to see that future you're going to build with someone unless you fully decide that this is what I want. And if at the end of the day, it turns out, that this wasn't for y'all, then you move forward from there, right? It's scary and it hurts and it sucks and I know, I know, but it's got to happen. And the more we beat around the bush, the worse it's going to get for all of us. So I encourage us to choose growth. I encourage us to have tough conversations and avoid the limbo. Don't play with people's feelings. That's not fun. No one likes it. Be a better person. Be a good person. Don't be shitty. Anyway, I'm gonna, it's gray outside, and I needed to get these thoughts out because it just so much. We're in the outro segment here, people. Those are my unfiltered thoughts once more. Stuff is crazy, man. We just got to be better, I feel like. So hopefully something I said maybe makes sense. Again, this is the mind mess. I've collected these thoughts from my palace and put them on full display. So hopefully, I don't know, we move better. I want people to love each other. Why can't we love each other? Why is it so hard to care? Ah! Oh well. Anyway, I'm gonna go Chris out now. Goodbye.